Hello and welcome. My name is Megan, and thank you so much for joining me for your practice today. It's an honor and a privilege. Go ahead and get comfortable in a seat on your mat, whatever that looks like for you. You can be on your shins or in a Sukhasana, easy cross-legged position, whatever feels good for you today in this moment. And let's have a quick little drop in here. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, go ahead and do so, or let the eyelids be heavy and find a drishti, a non-moving focal point somewhere in front of you where your eyes naturally rest. Allow your energy, your attention and awareness settle in from other times, places, people, and events here into your body, into this present moment. Giving this practice the honor and the attention it deserves, and giving yourself the presence that you deserve. As your energy continues to sift into this moment, begin to notice your breath in your body, how it feels. Where do you feel it in your body? Is there anywhere it feels constrictive, or does it feel pretty spacious? Just noticing without judgment. Tune in to your mental state, your mind. Do you feel distracted? Or do you feel calm, collected, clear? Does it feel loud and noisy in there? There's no right or wrong, no good or bad. You're just noticing, taking the temperature, taking some inventory before we enter into our practice. Shift your awareness to your spiritual self. Do you feel inspired and connected? Or do you feel a little empty? Again, you don't have to go into storytelling or digging into what you're feeling or thinking here. We're just noticing. Shift that awareness to your emotional self. What is the undercurrent of emotions you are experiencing right now in this moment? Acknowledging those, allowing them to be there. You are not your emotions or your thoughts. And now take a gentle body scan from head to toe, noticing any sensations in your body. Noticing if you feel any stiffness, any spaciousness. Are there any tensions that you want to explore further today as we move? If there are any injuries, please be mindful and take care. Everything that I offer here is simply that. It is an offering. You can take what you need and please leave anything you don't need. Now that we've checked in, let's take a moment to set an intention for your practice. That can be anything you want to cultivate more of in your life, in your day. And if it's simply just to be here and be present, that's good. That's great. That's good enough. Let's seal that in with 3 centering breaths. As you inhale, root through the sit bones, extend the arms out long into a T, palms shine up to the sky. Reach them all the way up, get long. Fingertips may come to touch. On the exhale, you pull the hands down through center in front of your heart space into Anjali Mudra. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, gathering up your energy, everything you need. Exhale, draw it into center. Gentle bow of the chin. Again, just honoring your practice, your body, your space. And when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open and we'll make our way onto our back bodies today. As you make your way onto your back body, just begin to notice the pressure of your body onto the mat underneath you. Maybe feel heavier in the shoulders and the hips and a little bit lighter in the low to mid back. Feet can be planted, knees up towards the sky. Begin to circle sweep your arms, tracing the ground like you're making little snow angels up, reaching up overhead, get long. As you exhale, bend the elbows, think cactusing the arms, drawing the elbows towards the hips. A couple more just like that, feeling your shoulder blades and your arms moving around. Notice how when you reach up, maybe your rib cage kind of flares open towards the sky. You feel the sacrum pressing into the mat. Maybe a little lift of the low back. Exhale, draw the elbow tips down. Maybe a gentle stretch across the collarbones, the chest. One more time, inhale, circle, sweep up to stay. Reach the arms up overhead. Maybe you grab opposite elbow and let the elbows be heavy towards the mat. Feel a nice stretch from the hips to the elbows. Let the knees drip over toward the left. Maybe feeling more of a stretch in the right side body. Think about that right knee and right elbow moving in the opposite direction. That right glute may squeeze a little bit just to get into that stretch a bit more, sending that right hip bone further towards the left. Breathe into the right rib cage, expand from the inside out. And exhale. You can stay here in this stretch. This might be plenty. Option to cross the left ankle over the right thigh just for an added stretch or twist here. Let the right shoulder be heavy toward the mat. If you have the ankle crossed, leave it there. Draw the legs back up towards center. And if you don't have the cross the left ankle over the right thigh. You can kind of heel toe that right foot around, bring it up towards center. Release the arms and a gentle figure four stretch. You can hug the right thigh in, maybe clasping behind the thigh or the shin, whatever feels good here. And breathe into that stretch into the outer left hip. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side, exploring that a bit further. You can always add in some ankle rolls here into that right ankle. Spread the toes out wide, waking that up, maybe getting some cracks and pops out. Go ahead and lower the right foot to the ground and feel the pressure of the sacrum on the floor. Imagine knitting the low ribs in together and down towards the hip points and drawing the pubic bone up towards the belly button. Do you feel the pressing of the lower back in the mat? Like you're squashing something underneath the low back, like a blueberry or maybe a sheet of paper. So if I were to come around and try to pull the piece of paper out from under your low back, I would not be able to do it. Keep this pressure, this pushing into the low back and bring the right knee back up. Keep pressing. Extend the right foot up towards the sky. You can reach your hands towards the top of your mat if that helps. And then begin to lower the right foot, but only as far as you can while still keeping that integrity, keeping that low back pressing into the mat. And that may be not very low, and that's okay. Okay. Inhale, reach the fingertips to peel the head, neck, and shoulders up. You can always leave them down to the mat if you would like. And you can also bring your hands behind your head. Inhale, lower the foot, lower the head. Exhale, draw the pubic bone up towards the belly button. Little crunch on the exhale. Inhale, open up only as far as you can, keeping the low back pressed into the mat. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, press through the low back. Exhale, pull the pubic bone in. 1 more. Just a gentle wake up through the core. Exhale, unravel the legs, gentle windshield wiper each direction. Reach the hands back up overhead, grab opposite elbow, let the knees drip over towards the right this time. Breathe into the left side body. Reach that left elbow tip long and that left knee away from you towards the top of the mat. Maybe a gentle squeeze of that left glute. Breathe into the left side body. And let go. Let yourself be heavy. One more time, inhale. Exhale, you can stay here. Option to cross that right ankle over the left thigh. Get a bit more stretch through the left side. And then bring the legs back up to center. If you don't have the cross, go ahead and cross that right ankle over the left thigh now. Gentle squeeze or gentle sway from side to side. You can hug that left thigh in, clasping it wherever feels good in your body. Gentle rock from side to side. Notice how this side feels compared to the other one. Does it feel tighter or more spacious, or does it feel similar? Again, ankle rolls are welcome here. Spread out the toes. And go ahead and lower the left foot to the mat for now and find that integrity. I'm going to call this your integrity through this class. So just so you know, when I say that, that means knitting those low ribs in together and down so they're not flaring and scissoring out. Drawing them down towards the front hip points and pulling the pubic bone towards the belly button so you feel that low back press into the mat. Feel that engagement. Go ahead and lift the left foot up towards the sky. Keep that engagement. Keep pressing down through the low back as you begin to lower the left leg. Only as far as you can while keeping that integrity. Inhale, pull it back up. And hands can either be reaching towards the top of the mat, behind the head, anywhere that feels good. And on the next exhale, maybe you lift the head, neck, and shoulders up off of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, reach through the left foot. Keep the low back pressing. Exhale, little crunch. Inhale, lower, keep the integrity. Exhale, lift, nose to the pubic bone. Exhale, 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, keep pulling the pubic bone towards the belly button. 1 more. Beautiful. Go ahead and lower, unwind, rinse out through a windshield wiper, knees in each direction. And then find the knees stacking over the hips. The shins are parallel toward the mat. And again, find that integrity. Really draw the pubic bone up and press down through the lower back. Hands or palms come to the thighs to add some resistance here. So press into the thighs, press the thighs back into the hands, and feel the low back pressing in here. Gentle spinal balance as the right leg reaches forward, the left hand reaches forward. Keep that low back pressing into the mat. If you're having trouble, take the opposite palm to the opposite thigh and press, add that resistance. Notice the low back pressing into the mat again. Go ahead and bring it back in to switch sides. Maybe take the left palm to the right thigh as the left heel reaches long, right arm reaches long. Press to the low back. Feel that activation. Exhale, bring it back in. 1 more each side. Right leg, left arm. Press into that thigh. Bring it back in. And then left palm to right thigh, and the left leg, right arm reaches. Keep that low back pressing into the mat. Maybe feel a little shake. Go ahead, come back in. Release the arms out into a T, pressing into the mat. Keep the knees over the hips and begin to windshield wiper them over towards the left. Let them hover. Feel a gentle, active twist here in the spine. Hold here. Press through the arms to keep the upper back stable and pressing into the ground. And pull the knees back up through center. Let them begin to hover over towards the right. Active twist. Bring it back up to center, over to the left. Just a hover. Back up to center, over to the right for a hover. And back up. Lovely. Go ahead and rock and roll up your spine as many times as you would like to. We're going to meet in a tabletop. If you would rather roll onto your side body and press yourself up to make your way there, be my guest, okay? However you want to do it. And if you have sensitive knees, I'm sorry I didn't mention, but a blanket might come in handy. If you want to set yourself up there, I also have a couple of blocks. They're not explicitly needed, but anything that supports you in your journey. I also have a strap. Again, it's not explicitly needed, but next time if you come back to this, feel free to grab it. So hands and knees, just begin to wiggle around, maybe some animalistic type movements, waking up the wrists to bearing weight, maybe circle the shoulders over the palms. Begin to flip the fingertips in different directions. Maybe they reach back towards the knees. Really press down through all four corners of the palms, especially the root of the thumb and the index knuckle mound. And let your breath be your anchor for the present moment to keep you coming back into your body, back into what you're experiencing here, the sensations in your body. Begin to find cat-cow. As you inhale, let the belly drop. Notice how the rib cage flares open and the tailbone flicks up towards the sky. Feel a nice stretching out of the front core that we just engaged. And maybe think about pulling their hands towards the knees to pull the bicep or the sternum between the biceps. Inhale, and as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, push the mat away, pull the chin in as you concave through the heart. See if you can make a bit more space in the upper back in between the shoulder blades. Toggle back and forth with your own breath. Gentle bend in the elbows, keeping that joint nice and supple. If you want to take any lateral movement side to side, like you're kind of wagging your tail, really exploring, noticing how the spine feels today. Are there any sticky bits that you can try to move into and open up? Let yourself be curious here. Continue exploring this space, this posture in your body today. It might feel different, and it probably will feel different than it did yesterday, and then it will tomorrow. Our bodies are always changing, right? They're always evolving. It's like we get a different body to work with every day, it seems. And then come to a neutral spine, and let's explore this idea of integrity in this position. So notice long spine, the sit bones are reaching back behind you, crown of the head is reaching forward, nice supple elbows, gentle bend there. Notice that the low ribs are scissoring open. Can you draw them back towards the back body and away from the mat? Again, the pubic bone gently pulls toward the navel. Not enough to round or tuck the tailbone like a cat's spine, but just enough to pull this integrity in and engage through the core. So here we are. Let's find a bird dog. In this position, let's start by extending the right foot back behind us. Spiral the inner right thigh towards the sky so the hip points are somewhat squared toward the mat. Okay. Now lift the heel up towards the sky. Notice when you did that, did you flare open and did your low back cave in? Can you pull that integrity up and in? Pull the low ribs up away from the mat and keep this integrity. And that might mean that your leg doesn't lift as high. That's okay. That's not our focus, okay? So you can stay here and focus here, keeping this integrity in the core, or maybe you get light in the left fingertips. Option to reach the left fingertips up overhead. Keep the integrity through the core. Keep the low ribs pulling away from the mat. And maybe the arm and leg move out laterally. Whoa. And reach them back up overhead. Come in, cat your spine as you draw the knee to the elbow. Inhale, open back up, find your integrity. and lower back down. Other side. Left foot reaches back behind you. Spiral the inner thigh up towards the sky so the hip points are square. Lift the heel. Notice what happened to your core and your integrity. Stitch it back up. Come light onto the right fingertips. Reach through the right fingertips. Breathe. Keep your integrity. Reach in opposite directions with the fingertips and that left heel. Keep that pubic bone pulling toward your belly button. Send it out laterally. Reach towards the sides and pull it back forward. Knee to elbow, cap through the spine, open back up, find your integrity. And lower. Split the tailbone up and send the hips back towards the heels like you're going to move into a child's pose. And then tuck the tailbone, let it reverberate up the spine as you round forward, leading with the back of the heart like a wave. Flick the tailbone up, bend the elbows, send the hips up and back, like moving into a child's pose. Tuck and round, roll forward like a wave. One more, spinal wave here, reaching back, leading with the sit bones nice and wide. Exhale, round and roll forward all the way onto your belly. Keep looking at your hips. Let them land and unfurl up and lower. Hands come out to 10 to a clock. Up onto fingertips like you have a cupcake or a bubble underneath. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Press the pubic bone into the mat. Elbows up high. Inhale to peel the head, neck, and shoulders up into a funky cobra. Keep squeezing the glutes, active legs here. Exhale, lower. 2 more like that. Inhale, peel it up. Head comes up very last. Exhale, wave down. Inhale, peel it up. Exhale, lower. Hands come in by the shoulders to press yourself up into a cobra. Exhale, lower halfway. Lift the legs and reach through the toes. Reach the fingertips back and tuck the chin in so you're reaching through the crown of your head towards the top of the mat. Think about getting long before getting high. So reach out through the toes and the head and then lift. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. 1. Lower. Press yourself up and back. Through tabletop, tuck the toes. Sit the hips back and walk your hands in. By your toes pose. If it's really intense, which it can be, and it may be, that's fair, you can keep some of your weight forward in your hands. If not, then you can come up and stack the shoulders over the hips, bringing more weight onto the toes. Just a quick opening for the back line of the body. From here, you can also come up if this is too intense for you. Again, like I said, very fair. From here, if you have a strap or a dog leash or a tie or scarf, go ahead and grab it now. If not, just do this without. So just think about shoulder circles. Grab the strap about 3 feet-ish, nice and wide, and start pulling it up and over your head and then back behind you. Shoulder flosses here, opening up forward and back. Giving yourself more slack or a wider grip gives you more space. And if you shorten that grip, then it's tighter. It's a bit more constrictive. It can be more of a stretch, more restrictive. And now notice when you reach your arms straight up, if your natural tendency for the rib cage is to flare open. So go ahead and hug it back in. Find your integrity here. Reach up. Shoulder tips might come up into the ears. If you have the strap, pull it apart like you could rip it apart. Knuckles reach up towards the sky. For 3, for 2, for 1. Release. Come off of the toes, give them a gentle tap if you need to. Let's start flowing, shall we? Tuck the toes again, press the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Press through all four corners of the palms. Let the sternum drip heavy towards the thighs. Reach through the sit bones. You can always have a bend in the knees and a nice crease in the hips as you send the sit bones up towards the sky. Take any wiggles here that might feel good. You can pedal out your feet. You can send the hips from side to side. Any movements. Any sounds that just naturally want to come out, let them out. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, let it out of the mouth. Begin to walk the feet up towards the hands, finding a stance about hips with a distance. Bend the knees generously, find a ragdoll. Don't let the elbows be heavy. Let the crown of the head drip towards the mat. Gentle sway from side to side. Maybe grab opposite elbows. If I didn't say that already. Release the elbows. Inhale, find a halfway lift. And for this halfway lift, find the torso parallel-ish towards the mat. That means hands may come up onto thighs, okay? Reach through the crown, reach through the sit bones. Find your integrity here. Can you pull the low ribs in away from the mat? Pubic bone gently tugs toward the belly button. Bring your right hand to your sternum. Bring your left hand to your sternum. Nice, strong core here. Inhale. On the exhale, gentle bend of the knees to lift all the way up to a stand. Inhale, circle, sweep up. Upward salute, Urdhva Hastasana. Get long, maybe a gentle back bend if that feels okay. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, the right foot is going to step back. Big step, lower the right knee. Anjaneyasana. Go ahead and lift arms, sweep up towards the sky. Exhale, cactus to lift your heart and sternum. Send the hips forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. As you exhale, maybe bring the hips back over the back knee and find your integrity. Tuck the low ribs in. Gentle squeeze of that right glute to keep the hips square towards the top of the mat. And now, kickstand the right shin to the left. So you're opening up into this modified side angle pose towards the right side of the room. And just hands can be on hips here. And just think about gliding that front knee over the front toes. Feel this nice groin stretch and opening through the pelvic floor. You can think about this right sit bone reaching towards the left heel. Can you soften through the pelvic floor? Let it soften and expand and stretch. And then let's find this modified side angle. So stack the front knee over the front heel. This left forearm can be onto left thigh, or you can put it on a block or onto the ground, but give yourself space here. Keep this front leg pressing back, and then sweep the right arm up and over. Continue, let it do some circles here as you reach forward. Shoulder comes with it. Reach it back and open up. Pause here. Then reach it back. Let it sweep forward. And then peel the chest open. Cactus the arm. And then pull yourself up. Think gate pose. Extend through the left leg. Plant the right palm. And the left fingertips reach up and over the left head. Squeeze the glutes to send the hips forward. Open up. Option to bend. This left arm reaching for the right shoulder. Tuck the chin in and then lean back into that hand. Maybe finding a bit more stretch. Reach the left fingertips up and over. Pull yourself up into gate. Gate pose. Left arm to left leg. Right arm up and over. Really stretch through the right knee and out through the right fingertips. Coming back up through center and turning back forward into that Anjaneyasana, and then send it back to half splits, half Hanuman. Stretch out through that left hamstring. Pull the toes back towards your face. The pinky edge side pulls towards your face as well. Press that left heel into the mat to pull yourself forward. Plant the right hand to the top right corner of the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Peel open towards the left fingertips, reach up towards the sky. Think about that bottom rib cage spiraling further under the top rib cage. Maybe your gaze is up at that thumb. Moving into side angle, this left arm is going to weave and plant on top of that left thigh. Back foot is going to swivel flat and then peel open, right fingertips reach up towards the sky. Beautiful. Press through that front heel, up and back, think reverse triangle. Left fingertips reach up, option to find the half bind by internally rotating the right arm and reaching it behind the low back towards the front hip. Really press through that front heel and reach through the top fingertips. Triangle pose. Kick the hips back, back, back. Get long through the side body. Long, long, long. How long can you stay? And then find a spot for the left hand. It can be on the thigh, the shin, on a block, or on the mat. You can keep the bind with the right hand, but peel the chest open. Right shoulder on top of left, or reach open through the right fingertips. Triangle pose. Press to the big toe mound of that front foot and through the pinky edge side of the back foot. Breathe. On your exhale, right hand comes to plant to the top of the mat, bend in that front knee. Pivot onto the back foot, coming back into this lunge, and then roll over onto the pinky edge side of that back foot. Okay, so we're almost in this horizon lunge here, but we are going to pick up this left foot, moving into side plank, and then put the left foot behind you, sit down on your butt. Move into a half floor gentle twist. If that was really confusing, we'll do it a couple more times, and it's okay. Sometimes seeing these things on the screen and hearing it is just really, it's a lot of pieces to put together. Leading with the right arm, cartwheel back to the top of the mat. Press through that left foot to lift back into your half plank. Okay. And then bring the left foot back to the top of the mat, back into the lunge. Hands can come down, press through the left foot to lift the back leg, standing splits. Maybe find a warrior 3 on your way up to a stand. Hug the knee into the chest and lower down. Shake it out if you need to. Notice the difference between sides. Inhale, circle, sweep up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot steps back this time. Big step, lower the back knee. Anjaneyasana, lift up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Lift the chest, lift the heart. Find your integrity. Scoot the hips back slightly. Bring the low ribs in. Gentle squeeze of the the left glute. Beautiful. Now we're going to open it up to that modified side angle. So kickstand the back shin over towards the right, open the hips up towards the long edge side of the mat. Go ahead and slide that knee forward and back. Feel that nice inner groin stretch. Again, can you soften through the pelvic floor here? The pelvic floor, the layer 2 of the muscles is attached to the 2 sit bones. So as the sit bones get wide here, let the pelvic floor stretch open. We often carry a lot of tension in our pelvic floor subconsciously without even realizing. So letting it relax and stretch is really good for it. let's go ahead and scoot forward into this modified side angle. Sweep the left arm up and over. Let's sweep it forward first, shoulder circle, reaching up and then it backwards, peeling everything open. Reaching up, think gate pose, extend through the right leg, left hand plants, right arm sweeps up and open, squeeze the glutes, send the hips forward, stretch through the right heel, through the right fingertips or the elbow. And then reach up, gate pose. Left arm sweeps up and over. Stretch to the left knee, to the left fingertips or elbow. Back up through center. And let's swivel back forward to the top of the mat. Find a half split. Send the hips back. Stretch through the front hamstring. Pull back on the toes. Reach back with the sit bones and forward with the collarbones. Long spine. Moving to that twisted lunge. Pull yourself forward with that right heel. Plant the left hand. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. And peel the chest open towards the right. Reach through the right fingertips. Reach out through the back heel. Pivoting into side angle. Right arm sweeps onto the front thigh. And pivot the back heel flat. Peel the left arm up and open. Beautiful. Press it up and back, reverse triangle. Straighten the front leg, reach up. You can find that half bind. Triangle pose, send that hip back, back, back as you reach forward. Reach, reach. Once you get nice and long, find a place for that hand. Try to stay light in the hand and try to keep this left shoulder stacked on top of the bottom shoulder. Keep this bottom ribs spiraling underneath the bottom rib. This left arm can be up straight. You can find a half bind. You can reach it overhead if you would like. Finding whatever variation is serving you here. On your exhale, look down and take this left hand, plant to the top of the mat, pivot back on the toes, moving into that side plank to the right. Right foot plants behind you. Lower your bum facing the back of the mat. Keep spiraling, half forward. Stretch, hug that knee. Look over the right shoulder. Take a break here, take a breath. Cartwheel the hands forward, back into that half plank, just to bring that right knee to the top of the mat. And then lift the back leg, half splits. Reach that foot up towards the sky. Let the head drop. Gentle bend in the bottom leg to come through warrior 3 on your way to a stand. And then left knee hugs into the chest. And lower. Shake it out. Take a breath. We'll move through that 1 or 2 more times. With a few variations here and there. Inhale, circle, sweep up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, right foot steps back. Keep the right knee lifted this time. Up high lunge. Bring the hands through heart center. Option for this right elbow to cross over the left thigh and find a hook. Reach through the back heel. You can take this left hand and make a fist and press it into the bottom palm, maybe finding a gentle or more sensation in your twist. Pivoting into side angle, release the hook. Pivot the back foot flat. Peel the right hand open. Reach. Press it up and back, reverse triangle. Triangle pose, reach forward. Right hand comes to plant. Vashisthasana, side plank, yes. Go ahead, take that left foot back, lower the hips, option for wild thing, press it up, or you can go to half forward. Back into side plank. Left knee is going to come up high towards the shoulder, back to the top of the mat. Lift the back leg, half splits. Moving through warrior 3. On your way up to a stand. Hug the right knee in. And lower. Shake it out. Inhale, circle, sweep up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left foot steps back this time. Keep the knee lifted. Inhale, crescent pose. Bring the hands to Anjali Mudra. Twisted lunge. You can hook that left elbow outside the right knee. Twist. Reach long through the back heel and through the crown. Again, you can make a fist with that top hand. Side angle. Back heel swivels flat. Open it up. Press it up, reverse triangle. Triangle pose, reach it forward. Left hand plants, side plank or Vashisthasana. Take that right foot behind you, either half lowered or wild thing. Express yourself. Back into side plank, right knee comes to shoulder, back to the top of the mat. Lift the back leg, half splits. Through warrior 3, on your way up to a single-legged Tadasana. Hug the left knee in. Lower. One more time, inhale, circle, sweep up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, listen for the change, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Send the hips back. Shift the weight into the left foot. Right leg, right knee lifts up into the chest, single leg Tadasana. Move through warrior 3 as you hinge forward. Send the right foot back. Reach, reach, reach. Land in your crescent pose. Lift. Find your twist. Twisted lunge. Extended side angle. Swivel the back heel flat. Option here to find a bind. You can take that bottom hand, crawl it towards the long edge side of the mat. Internally rotate that top hand. Back of the hand comes to the back of the sacrum. Bend this other elbow. Find the latch. Strong legs here. Keep finding this integrity and link through the spine. You can either, if you don't have the bind, go to reverse triangle, or stay here if you do have the bind. We'll meet in triangle. If you have the bind, just begin to straighten the front leg as much as you can. It doesn't ever have to be perfectly straight. If you want to play with birds of paradise, you can do that from here. What we'll do is we'll heel toe that right leg in. Okay? Shift the weight into the right foot. Find a drishti, a non-moving focal point, and begin to lift the torso, lift the left leg with you. Breathe. Stand up nice and tall, reach the crown. Maybe begin to extend through that left leg. Woo! Slowly come down with control. Find your pyramid. Release the bind. Woo! Right arm comes to the top of the mat, Vashisthasana. Land it, wild thing. Express yourself. Left knee up to the top of the mat, standing splits. And bring it up. Single leg Tadasana. Lower. Shake through the hips. Other side, inhale, circle, sweep up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, listen for the change. Chair pose, send the hips back, sweep the arms forward. Shift the weight into the right foot this time. Stand it up, single leg Tadasana, pull the left knee into the chest. Send it back, find a warrior three, hinge. Reach the left toes. Reach long, 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 long. Land in your crescent. With control, sweep the arms up. Twisted lunge, exhale to the right. Side angle. Swivel the back heel flat, open it up. Again, option for the bind here. It's just an option. Right hand will reach down and crawl back and at an angle. Internally rotate the top shoulder. Back of the hand reaches back behind you. Bend the bottom elbow, find the clasp. And then rebend the front leg, lengthen through the spine. If you don't have the bind, go ahead and reverse triangle. And then meet us in triangle. If you have the bind, bring the front leg towards straight. Play. If you want to play birds of paradise, bring that back heel, that left foot in. Shift the weight into the left foot. Get light into the the right toes. Find your drishti. Press through that left heel. Ooh, I'm a little wobbly on this side. Lift. Play with extending the right leg. Ooh. And then lower, back down. Find your triangle legs. Release the bind. Left hand plants the top of the mat. Vashisthasana. Land it. Wild thing, express yourself. Back to Vashi. Right foot to the top of the mat. Half splits. Go ahead and lift it back up. Single-legged Tadasana. And lower. If you want to play with that a couple more times, pause the video and play with it at your own pace. Inhale, circle, sweep up. And exhale, hinge and fold. Heel toe your feet nice and wide. Lower the hips into a malasana. Lift the hands, lengthen through the spine. Pull the shoulders onto the back body. Let the hips be heavy and drip toward the mat. Can you slow your exhale? You can stay here or option for crow. Plant the hands. Maybe lift the hips and heel toe the feet in. Knees come up into the armpits by the triceps. Stack. Lean, look and lean forward. Weight into the hands, grip, press. And maybe you lift one foot. And then with the other, pull the heels up into the glutes. For 3, 2, 1. You can lower or shoot back chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And then lower onto your belly. Stack the palms. Relax the forehead. Shimmy the hips side to side. Letting the body neutralize here. Can you slow your breath? Can you visualize it as you inhale and invite it all the way down the back body, in between the kidneys, down to the pelvic bowl. Exhale, follow it all the way out. Take your hands back out to 10 and 2 on fingertips, elbows up high. Right heel squeezes into the glute, and then lift the thigh, reach it towards your left shoulder. Peel the right side body up, press yourself up into a seat facing at the back of the mat. Ta-da! Now the right knee is just going to splay open. We're kind of in this Janu position. Left arm slides onto the inseam of that left leg as you peel the chest open, right arm up and over, side body stretch. Keep the right sit bone rooted. Lift it up. Turn your chest towards your extended leg and fold. I like to bring my right hand on the outside of the right leg or the right foot for a little bit more stretch in my low back. Go ahead and lift it back up. We're going to come out just the way we came in. So sweep that left hand around, plant it, and then bring the whole body back down onto your belly. The right foot comes down last. Other side, so arms out, funky cobra, left heel to left glute. Peel the left thigh up. Reach the toes towards the right elbow. Reach, reach, reach. Peel yourself up. Woo! I got some stuff in the way over here. Up into sitting into Janu at the back of the mat. Same side body stretch. Right arm slides on the inseam of the right leg. Peel it open, left arm up and over. Use that traction of the bottom hand to really help spiral the ribcage open. Keep that left sit bone rooted. Lift it up. Bring the torso to face over that extended leg and fold. Breathe into the low back. And go ahead and rise. Right hand rainbows up to the top of the mat. The shoulders come to square to the top of the mat. As you begin to peel back down, bringing the left leg with you. Hands come by the rib cage. Send the hips up and back. Child's pose. Hands can be in any variation you would like here. If you want to reach them forward, you can reach them back by your heels. You can bend at the elbows, walking the elbow tips long towards the top of the mat. Fingertips can reach up towards the sky, or thumbs to the nape of the neck. I would plant my forehead, but I think my microphone would probably rumble a bit if I did that. So go ahead and relax your forehead to either a block or the mat underneath you. Feel your breath in your body. Feel the expansion of the rib cage as it presses into the thighs. Maybe your belly expands into the thighs as well. Can you create space in the low back with your breath? Three more breaths here. And walk your torso up. Shift the weight to one side to sweep your legs out in front of you and find a wide-legged straddle. It doesn't have to be the widest straddle you can possibly do. And just find a gentle fold down the middle. You can find blocks if the ground feels really far away. Maybe find some sways from side to side. You can always sway over to one leg, through center to the other leg. Take this time, your practice, your choice. Or maybe you just want stillness. Try to keep the toes pointing up towards the sky and the pink edge sides of the feet reaching back. And again, reaching the sit bones back as the collarbones reach forward. If you want to blanket under your hips, that can be really helpful here. Begin to walk the torso up. You can bring the feet in, think butterfly or Baddha Konasana. You can even send the feet or the heels a little away from the groin to find Torasana. And just a gentle fold. Hands can come onto the ankles as you pull your chest forward. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side. Continue to let your breath keep you here. As we slow things down and move into the rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system. Can you make your exhales longer than your inhales? You know, lift the torso. Let the hands help the knees back up through center. Begin to roll onto your back body. Take a moment here to feel how the mat supports you. Hug the right knee into the chest, gentle squeeze. You can keep the left foot planted or reach it long towards the top of the mat. Gently pull the right knee over to the left for a supine twist. The right arm unfurls to the right. I like to use my left hand to support my right knee and keep it pulling up towards my left shoulder. You can also think about your left elbow pressing into the mat, lifting the left shoulder and scooching it over towards the left to help you find more connection of the upper back to the mat. Gaze can be anywhere. It might be nice to look over to the right for a gentle stretch in the neck. And let the right shoulder be heavy. And keep breathing down into the belly. One more breath. And then peel it back up through center. Plant the right foot to the mat and hug the left knee into the chest. Squeeze. Maybe you glide it from side to side like you're tracing the collarbone. Reach the right heel long if that feels good in the front of the hip there. Then pull the knee over towards the right. Let the left arm unfurl to the left. Again, maybe that right elbow presses into the mat to lift the right shoulder and pull it over further to the right, getting more contact of the upper back to the mat. Let the left shoulder be heavy. And gaze may fall over to the left. And breathe down into the belly. And release. One more breath. And pull yourself back to center. Maybe hugging both knees in towards the shoulders. Option to find a happy baby here. Shining the soles of the feet up towards the sky, hugging the knees in towards the shoulders. Arms weave inside the thighs. You can either grab onto the backs of the ankles or the pinky edge sides of the feet. Gently tugging the knees down toward the mat. Lengthen through the tailbone. Soften through the pelvic floor. Breathe in all the way down and feel the pelvic floor expanding, making space for the pelvic organs. Let it soften. You can find a gentle rock from side to side, a gentle massage of the back. And you can also play with extending through each leg if that feels good. If you have the space. Gentle hug of the knees in, pull the forehead up towards the knees and squeeze everything in. On your next exhale, open it up into your Shavasana. Softening from head to toe. Please stay here for as long as you're able to, maybe even a little longer. And notice how you feel after moving around on your mat, exploring how your body feels in different shapes, different movements. Maybe there were some new things for your body today. Knowing that the process is the pose. Letting go of any expectations of your practice and what you think it should look like, and allow yourself to meet you where you're at. It's an honor and a privilege to share this journey with you, to share the teachings and traditions of yoga that have come out of South Asia and have been passed down for thousands of years. I hope to see you again soon on your mat. Thank you.